So I'll try to use it wisely. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for the work that you put into this, for the effort that you have invested. This is not like other shows where every day you're together and that collective effort sort of like pulls you through, you know, like a day where you're just like, I don't know if I have it, and then you show up and everybody's got so much energy that you're like, all right, let's do this, let's make Reese. But like, with the monologue show, you go off on your own and you have to do it yourself. You have to keep that vision. You have to have it in your head that we're going to put a show together. You have to do it all in faith. And all of you carried the fire for the show for the last month, and I'm so grateful to you. I said it again and again all week, but like I say it because it's true. Like this show exists because of you. It exists because you wrote something. It exists because you revised something. It exists because you memorized it. It exists because you came together and celebrated one another for a shared vision on this stage. So thank you so much for letting me, for trusting me, and for believing in this as I believe in it, because now other people are going to believe in it too. We have some awards to hand out, two different kinds. The first kind comes from you, the cast. It is voted on by your peers and everything, and that means something, right? Yeah. A lot of you were strangers on Tuesday when we gathered in here, and by now I think that like some meaningful, relationships and bonds have formed or started. Hopefully you're gonna continue that maybe in Portillo's or some other place. But like even if like this is the last time you see each other for a while, look out for each other, right? Keep an eye out in the hallways. Like cheer for one another if you're in writers' week. If you find yourself in a class together, like go up and say hey, right? Like don't let this end just because we've torn all this down. We're not going to be here these 24 hours. Then the second awards that we're going to give out are to our seniors. We want to celebrate seniors, whether this is your first year in the monologue show or your fourth. We want to celebrate seniors because you've done something, you've left something behind, and this is going to start a season where you're going to be thinking about like, what am I going into and what am I leaving behind? Have I used my time well? So I want to celebrate seniors. We also celebrate seniors tonight. Seniors! All right. Hopefully you all got a chance to see the letter that I posted in there, and you saw what I wrote about the power of love, and about what is the meaning of love. Most of the group chat, somebody said. Basically what I said was this. Like we have this vision of love as like this feeling of euphoria and like this idea that we are giddy and running downhill into chocolate. But what love really is serving somebody who does not deserve it. And I don't mean it like in like a cruel way, like the person who is, like, this is clear. Like, all of us are flawed, messy people. And when we are loved, we don't deserve what we receive. It's a gift that we don't deserve. And yet we receive it, right? And when you are loved, it teaches you how to love someone else. And that other person that you love will not deserve that love, but like, hopefully, if you're lucky, they will recognize that and they will try harder to be deserving of like what you're offering. That makes sense. That was the point of my letter. And the focus of that letter was Mrs. Glazer. And like what she does for you and how she serves you. She shows you love. Every year she shows you love. And I hope that you will celebrate that and think about that. Because you're all going to love, and maybe you already do love, and you know what it is to give somebody that love. And they can't deserve it, but hopefully they'll try to earn it. If that makes sense. So please give a round of applause. She had to go home because she's very, very tired. But listen, she's here because she believes in you. And all this week, she built you up, and all this week she celebrated you. She's right there watched every single performance. You know, she stood witness to like one of the best things that you will do. I don't remember like one of the best things you do in high school is to stand on the stage and share the work that she worked so hard for. She witnessed every single word of it. You know, so like when we leave, like that lives in her, and you know, she honored you tonight. She honored you all week. So if you get the chance to see her, you know, just shoot her an email or stop by her classroom. You know, thank her for that. All right, speaking of service, we have 3 awards to give for techies. These are people who made sure our lights ran. These are people who made sure our sound cues work. These are people who warned the audience to shut off their phones. And these are people who just absolutely stayed late to support all of us so that you look great. So I want to give an award to Mara. But like, all y'all saw her on stage, and she was incandescent playing, you know. So thank you for All right. My first award is for best villain. A lot of villains this year. We had somebody drown somebody else. We had some freshman murder just for the thrill of it. We have to tell you, try to steal that poor old man's fortune. And we also had like the physical embodiment of Gmail. But there was one villain who literally slaughtered a room full of Starbucks applicants. Where did that come from? Like, where did that originate? What misfire of somebody's brain made that into a piece? And like, how did they capture that spark? And how is it? So we call this the best WTF just happened. This year we have 3 award winners. The first one goes out to the entire piece. Bailey calls out Santa's fashion. Suddenly Dylan is playing an accordion. This last one, I'm so glad you guys thought this was great, because in rehearsals I was like, are you kidding me? This is what you're going to do? And he's like, yeah, this is totally going to work. The best WTF just happened moment. Zach Thomas Keith. Our next award is for the biggest laugh. This was a very funny monologue show with a lot of great laughs. We have 2 award winners for biggest laugh. The first one, Henry cannot take any more of Nico's weirdness. Alright, and then this one came up on just about every ballot. Gmail drives Luke to becomes so still that you could like hear like a person's heartbeat. It just becomes like so. The tension is incredible, and it's summoned by this wonderful interplay of performance and language. The first biggest goosebump moment comes to a piece that like is about sincerity and about generosity and about love. Autumn's piece. Climax. Ella breaks down and then ends with a sentence. Alright. Best single sentence is a poorly named award because we actually have 2 winners this year. So there, one is comedic and one is serious. The best comedic single sentence is, hi friends. And I don't know if this has ever happened before in the 16 years we've been doing this award, but the best single sentence goes to the last sentence. I will remember. I'm going to give out some awards for best song, best comedic piece, best dramatic piece. We're going to move into the pieces themselves. Best song, we had 3 wonderful songs this year. They all received a number of votes. But for the second time in a row, best song goes to me. Alright. Best comedic piece. Alright, so comedic piece is you're playing either like an exaggerated version of yourself, you're playing like another character who's comedic, or you're doing stand-up, but you didn't have any stand-up this year. Best comedic piece though, goes to a piece that was very inspired and just built and built and built, and the audience really got behind it as it went along. Best comedic piece goes to Luke Fosdick. Alright, best dramatic piece is a piece, obviously a lot of the message pieces are very dramatic, but a dramatic piece, you're playing somebody who's not yourself, you're playing another character. And I'm so glad that you guys recognize that this is not who she really is. Because, wow. Best dramatic piece goes to Ella Swartz. Best message piece. All right, this is a piece where you're talking about yourself in some form or another. And this piece was absolutely wrenching and very, very relatable to, I think, everybody in this room in ways that, like, very few of us are able to vocalize. And so I was really grateful for how this piece was revised and performed. Best message piece goes to Jared. Best skit. We had some incredible skits this year. I won't go through them, but I'm gonna announce it right now because I want to talk about the degree of difficulty for this. So the best skit goes to Kelly and Aiden. What makes this an excellent skit? First of all, it's 3 skits, and each one of the skits has to have a beginning, middle, and end. It has to have movement and momentum. These skits had characterization. They had multiple characters. They had a consistent tone and voice. But most one thing that I always appreciated in skit is when authors will give other people big laughs. They will let other people have a big laugh. And I really appreciated that like each character in their skit got to have a big laugh, got to have a big moment. It was a very generous piece of writing. So well done, both of you. All right. Best ensemble or duo. This is a love story. And it's very clear that like you selected these two. You selected them because they had such incredible chemistry. They obviously need one another and fight with one another because underneath that there's a vast ocean of love. Best ensemble duo, Luke and Jamie. I'm very excited about this because this is the most freshmen we've had in 7 years. What I loved about it was they brought such energy and such enthusiasm and such risk-taking and such daring, and they just threw themselves into this. You know, it's really hard to walk into a room where like somebody like Colin has been in 5 of these. If you've never done it, and maybe you don't even spend much time at the main campus. But we had such amazing freshmen. The person that you selected as best newcomer is somebody who played a lot of different roles and threw himself into a lot of different pieces, both dramatically and comedically. Give it up for Ben. Most improved from previous years. I'm going to talk about this person some more in a little bit. But this is a really special choice, and I'm really glad that you chose this person, Ella Labar. Okay, most valuable cast member. This goes to somebody who not just performed her, his or her own piece, but also was in other people's pieces and just provided just a support to everyone this week. This is a person who as of 10 minutes ago was sweeping the floor as in service of everybody. Most valuable cast member goes to Ella Smith. This year it goes to a senior, and I'm glad that you chose a senior because a lot of times seniors are afraid to get up on the stage because they want what they do last to be what they do best, and they want their last performance to be the one that is summative somehow. For every single senior that I'm going to talk about tonight, it took them 3 or 4 years to figure out the words, to figure out how to own this space. You really did tonight. The best performance goes to Jared. Yeah! All our seniors. Stand up if this was your first year of the show. Lisa. All right. Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Trevor, and thank you, Eliza, for doing the show this year.
Fine, guys.
Lisa.
It's okay. Mrs. Burns is first.
Thank you for doing the show. You didn't have to, right? I mean, it's very easy to not do a thing that you've never done before. but you both brought a lot, and you both helped everyone feel brave up here. So thank you very much. All right, I'm going to talk about each of our 2-year seniors now. Stand up, Helen, Ashwini, Ella, Zach, and Zoe. Came out as sophomores and were a part of the cast, and each one of them brought their own voice and brought their own thing that they were interested in. Helen brought courage and kindness. Ashwini brought poetry and love. Zach brought Brandon. Yeah. Zoe brought comedy and love, and Ella brought the whole spectrum, right? Comedy and pathos, but more than anything, just character. Thank you, all of you, for what you've done these last 2 years. Okay, I'm going to talk about the next 7 seniors because these are people who have been in 3 or more monologue shows. Tonight, I thought what I wanted to do was associate each one with a virtue. I hope they'll be okay with that. So let's bring up Zoya. Each one of her pieces was about hope, but not just about having hope, how hard hope is, and how tough it is to generate hope and maintain hope and keep hope. But to her credit and to the value of everyone, she has been a source of hope for everyone. It was very exciting for her to close the show last night because it represented a long journey to authenticity and being the best version of herself. And that took hope. So I thank you very much for being part of it. All right, Jared, come on up. All right, Jared was the dad of the monologue show tonight. He made everybody pancakes. The virtue that I want to associate with Jared is humor. And I want to I don't want you to think that humor is only absurdity or only wit or only exaggeration. It's all of those things, of course. But humor is also vulnerability and recognizing that sometimes what we need when we're sad or angry is the release, the catharsis of laughter. Jared has always spoken in his own voice, and that voice is one that mixes earnestness, sincerity, and truth with, like you saw tonight, some insecurity and some vulnerability and some pain. But always coming to it with humor. Humor, like hope, sustains us, and humor lifts us up, and humor brings us together. So for understanding the value and the complexity of humor, thank you very much, Jared. All right, Ella. Okay, Ella talked about how she auditioned and how her audition was just sort of kind of forced upon her. She showed up and I said, you can audition now, and she had to go now. From my end, I wasn't sure she was going to do it. She seemed very afraid and very uncertain, and maybe she was. I don't know. But as I got to know her, the word that I want to associate with her is wonder. Wonder because in the dual meaning of the word, wonder it is as in like her capacity to wonder at everything, to be curious about everything, to wonder at other people, to find beauty in the world around us, and like even like when the world is like a very ugly place, she makes room for wonder for it. But like I also want to talk about like her being a wonder, because first of all, her skill as a writer is astonishing, and the things that she can write are always very beautiful, true, and lovely. To be scared and to perform anyway, or to put yourself out there anyway, as she's done again and again, is a wonder. So thank you, Ella. All right, Shreya. Shreya's freshman year piece was called Dear Future Me. And it was a letter to her future self from her younger self. But as I watched it this morning, as I was, like looking over, what Ms. Liz had put together, I thought it was so interesting how much she knew then about both life and about who she was going to be. And each piece that she's done since then has cemented in my mind that like the virtue that I want to associate with her is wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge, but look, anybody can give you knowledge. Anyone can say to you, don't touch a hot stove. You got to get hurt to get wisdom. You have to it costs you something. It costs you time, it costs you investment, it costs you sometimes a broken heart. Shreya has been wise since I met her and continues to be wise. And continues to share that wisdom, and I hope that she continues to do so because she just has so much that she knows and so much that she can offer. So thank you for sharing for 4 years, Shreya. Okay, Claire. All right, the word that I want to associate with Claire is kindness. Her pieces have always been about showing kindness, and about deserving kindness as a freshman. But then as she went on, she's talked about the things that she loves and her family, her piece today was about showing kindness to herself and love for herself and acceptance for herself, which is, by the way, a message I hope that all of you are able to share by the time you're where she is right now. Right? Be kind to yourself, love yourself. You deserve kindness and love. And I know that Claire knows that about herself because it was in every piece that she wrote, and increasingly, in this year's piece, it was at the center of it. But Claire also shows kindness to everyone else. She's a friend to others. She's supportive of other writers and supportive of other people. It's easy to take advantage of kindness, and it's easy for kindness to burn out. And Claire has learned to, show herself kindness first, so that she doesn't, become a battery for others. So she's done so much for so many, and hopefully most of all for herself. Thank you, Claire. To be on stage, Not just like, like big stage, but like here in the black box. Henry has always written for his own voice and has always understood like his own comic touch. And like what that comedy does more than anything is like communicate enthusiasm and joy. One of the things that I love about Henry is that like anytime he's in somebody else's skit, it automatically like levels up in terms of fun. He's game for anything. He's willing to do anything, play anything. He's willing to like make a fool of himself if necessary. But he's also willing to like let other people have the big laughs and let other people, like this year he played the straight man, right? And so like other years he's been like the clown in the buffoon, but like this year he let everybody else. So I know that everybody who's in a skit with Henry has a great time. And that's really important because y'all are teenagers and a lot of times you're really stressed out and you need joy. And so every room Henry's in is filled with joy. Henry, thank you so much. All right, Colin. Hard to do. You can be obviously in 4 if you're a freshman, but to be in 5 you have to go to Allstate. And we've taken the monologue show in 18 years. We've taken it to Allstate twice. Colin was part of our second crew, so he becomes one of the few people who will be on that wall who have been in the show 5 times. Okay, so you had to go last when you've been in 5 shows. This virtue is going to make you. Okay, I swear this is a virtue, and you gotta let me explain. When I think of Colin, I think of darkness.
Oh, you're so evil! He's evil!
When you're talking to him, when you're in the hallway, when he's your student director, when he's in your cast, he is generous. He is a teddy bear. He is there for what you need. He is there to cheer you up. He is there to lift your spirits. He is there to make the audience applaud, for you, and cheer for you. But when he's writing, what he's really interested in is darkness. He really wants to explore silence. He really wants to explore shame. He really wants to explore villainy. And every piece that he's put on here has been about exploring that. And like to the point where like sometimes people are just like, that made me uncomfortable, right? I mean, like, good. And it's like for this guy, he was a person, and then like midway through the piece, he's like, wait a minute, he's talking about all of us, and he doesn't like all of us, and we're all wasting our lives, and all of a sudden you're uncomfortable. Look. It's important for laughter. It's important for art to make us laugh. It's important for art to make us cry. It's important for art to make us feel love. It's important for art to make us feel joy. It's also important for art to make us uncomfortable. And like we have to be reminded that we have darkness. We have to be reminded that darkness lives within all of us. We have to be reminded that like it's work to keep darkness at bay. And Alec has like never been afraid to remind us of that in his performances. As however far afield it is from his actual personality, he taps into it, and it has brought so much depth and challenge to the monologue show. So, for bringing darkness, but for being the light. Thank you, Colin.
I love you!
I love you, Richardson.
Yeah!
Okay, I never thought I would be up here. such an amazing director for the past 4 years, for all of us seniors. What a guy. He is the complete opposite of a Joseph. Good mic, yeah. But Mr. Rossi has always been there. He's the biggest cheerleader for all of us, definitely. I think every year, except my sophomore year, I came to him with, "Hey, Mr. Rossi, I don't have a single word written, but I have a vibe I'm going for." And he has helped me figure out every single year what to write and how to properly display my words. And I'm sure it can be said for everyone else too.
Mr. Rossi has this way of like he'll write your piece and then he'll tell you what it's about. And he sees the deeper messages that you're trying to say, even when you're like not sure what you're trying to say. And he helps you and like think deeper and think like, what am I really trying to say? What do I want this to mean? Like underneath everything. And I think that just like helps like the way you think so much. And that's one of the things I really like about Monologue Show and this writing process and everything we do here. We think about ourselves.
Yeah, I think Joel and I were having this discussion about like every time you go to a Rossi meeting, he like will randomly like go on like a 2-minute rant, like psychoanalyzing you, and then afterwards he'll be like, "Oh, you know me better than I know myself." Like really weird, but like it helps you grow as a person, and I think.
So you guys better take care of him once we're all gone. Got really mad at me because I switched up some of the blocking, and she was like, why did you do this? But she was still able to make it look amazing, and she made sure everyone stayed awesome. So,
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do this. All right, so this space goes back to being just a room on Monday. But you built something here this week, right? You built something with just words. And that is something that will remain much longer than the bricks. So keep that here. So this is a toast to the cathedral you built with your words this year. Juniors, sophomores, freshmen. This is also to the cathedral you built next year. Okay? So raise the gator glass.